Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the lounge. Sis, how have you been? I missed you so much. I want to do a quick live. I'm going to try. I know you guys have heard me say this before, but I'm serious. I'm going to try to dedicate at least 30 minutes to this, like every day, like how I used to when I do have time. I'll try to like go live for 30 minutes and then that's it. Good afternoon, Gaby baby. How are you? I hope today has been profitable and peaceful. It has for me. I'm so happy on this Taco Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Every time I get on here, I always have to ask what day it is because I don't keep up with days. They go by so fast. It's you just don't look at a clock when your entire day is filled with something. School started back yesterday out here, and my children's studies, of course, started back. So it's a lot going on. It is a whole lot going on. So the title of my live is Stay with Your Kind. As you know, I'll get up. I'll run through the YouTube streets just to see what the hell's going on from all corners. And then I'll go handle my business. I'll do, real life shit. Um, this weekend was a blast. I went out, had so much fun, doing things that people on here don't normally do. You guys don't normally hear about those things because, for the most part, everybody is on here, you know, doing that type of shit online. Um, this shit will take over your life if you let it. And I just remember how everything was before, like, I made a page on here. Um, my husband and I, we used to go live on Facebook. We used to do this, what I'm doing right now, but on Facebook. And it was a lot. It was a lot different. Um, First off, we're connected. Well, we were connected um, with every single person in the city. So when we would do our lives, one of my friends used to call, what did she used to call it? She used to say, um, porch talks or something about the porch or something. We would be on our balcony going live. And this was during C19, and we would normally go at night. So we would have our lanterns on, and we would have our drinks, and we would be tearing up, okay, the camera. Like, one of the biggest goofs on here is when you know how you go to certain places and you hear people always talking about cam up, all this stupid ass shit. That is a gimmick. If you go to any sector or any place where everybody is fucking screaming cam up, get out of there immediately. That is a sector that you can't take serious. Um, this is an app, and unless you being messy and talking shit, that's the only reason why you would need to do so. If you're actually talking about content, you don't need to do that. And because, unlike a lot of other people, good afternoon, my teddy bear. How are you? It's been a while. Um, because we're not like other people on here, these people came on here during C19, and we're content creators. We're going to talk about this and that on YouTube. See, like I said, we did this before YouTube. We used to do this on Facebook, and on there, it wasn't like you have like this avatar right here and you're talking through this. No, you cammed all the way up. Okay. Like, we used to have um, weekends where we would have club nights. And as you guys know, I have LEDs all throughout my house. We are LED freaks over here. Lagan, I don't know if you remember when we were in the family sector, how we were trying to get this shit rolling, and we were in our bedroom and it was LEDs everywhere. LEDs on the ceiling, LEDs on the wall. We had LED stands and shit. We had our big ass subwoofers and we had LEDs on those and around those. And we like would come on and I would be playing some music and then like Kevin would be sitting there chilling and I would be in the chair dancing and twerking and shit. Yeah, we used to have fun over there in the family sector. But it was like that all the time. It was never I'm talking to you guys behind this picture. It was always the camera was on or whatever. So that's old school shit for me. We had an epic fucking live, y'all. We had an epic live during C19 before I came to this shit right here. I can't even remember what made me come here. Like it'll come to me, but I can't remember it right now. But we had an epic motherfucking live where my husband and I we got into a big ass fucking argument, y'all. We was talking about each other's mamas. We was calling each other. We had got way too drunk, y'all, and we was talking shit about our mamas and some more shit. Now keep in mind, over there on Facebook, that's a bunch of family over there. And when I say we were connected to all of our family on that motherfucker, we were connected to all our family. And we was talking so much shit about each other's family. He was just going back and forth and shit. We had too fucking much to drink. We were too tired. So of course, when I came over here, I was like, we got to be a little bit more subtle. Like, let's not do that. Let's not get too hyped the fuck up and then start talking shit about each other's family. We talking shit about everybody. Niggas is in the chat and we going in. We talking shit about you, all type of shit. Like we showing like where we live and shit. So if a motherfucker had an issue they could pull up, that would have been stupid as fuck. But we telling motherfuckers to pull up, like pull up if you got a problem with what the fuck we said. Like we was doing too much. So I promised him we would not do that when I did this, when I decided to put content on here. I would not do that type of shit. So when it comes to that type of conversation on here, I don't give a fuck about that shit. For a whole year while I was a content creator on here, I did pre-uploads. That means we recorded ourselves and we put it up for people to listen to our content. We did shit like we did like drinking contests. We did shit like what's that shit called where you Smash or Pass. We did Smash or Pass like Celebrity Edition. We did Smash or Pass YouTuber Edition. We had this thing, my favorite live that we did called Throw That Shit Away, where we talked about food that was nasty as fuck and we didn't want to eat it. We would either eat it or we would throw that shit away. Like all of these lives, they were recorded. We recorded ourselves, doing the lives. So when I go to a sector where people are talking about camming up and shit, I laugh at them motherfuckers because this some new shit to y'all. This some old shit to us. Nigga, we camming up our houses and shit, our kids' room and shit. When we had our club nights, we have the kids' room set up. That would be like the hip hop room. The front room would be like the R&B room, and then we'll have like a house techno fucking room. That would be like our room, and then we'll have a room where we had Latin pop beats and shit. Like it was some real, like we was on some real crazy shit, but we was having so much fun, y'all. We had too much fun, and while everybody else's cities were closed down, Vegas being closed down is so weird. And I still have all these videos and everything. When Vegas shut the fuck down, it was creepy, but we still had fun. We still took the fucking motorized scooters that we had and we still went out on the strip. We were in the middle of the street with a bunch of other people on bikes and shit. They had motorcycles, bikes, motorized scooters, motorized wheelchairs, all that shit. And we just put LEDs in the wheels or on the handlebars or whatever, and we would have hats on and padding and shit, and we would just ride through the strip. with groups of other people. We had this thing out here where everyone was supposed to meet at Area 51. We all got together as a group to go try to break into Area 51. Motherfuckers was about to get shot, okay? They were about to get shot. So this is not new to me. This is some old shit to me. So when I hear people talking about it, it's comical to me because this is some shit where we've been there, done that. And you know, it's ridiculous to think that a person who's not talking about content would care about anything other than having something profound to talk about. You can only talk about relationships for so long. You can only talk about fucking and sucking for so long, okay? You can only talk about what these niggas is doing, what these bitches ain't doing. You can only talk about that shit for so long before you get sick and tired of it. And this is part of my title of my video, Stay With Your Kind. On here, it's real easy now for me to separate, certain type of people from others. It's just, it's too easy to talk this shit and sip days. Yes. We was doing some crazy shit. We was doing some crazy shit. And right now, it would be even better if we were still doing stuff like that. But the times have changed. The environment has changed. I was watching the live and I was listening very closely to this person whose live I was watching. Y'all know I'm never gonna tell you who the people are. I don't give a fuck about the people. But what was funny about it was just how the person was talking as if they were business minded, but their channel didn't reflect that. And it's like, the reason why that is because of your surroundings. Um, that's the first thing you're gonna learn on here is your surroundings. I'm not talking about just being a content creator. I'm talking about even being a sub. It's just your surroundings. I've watched an entire sector that I came into that was bomb just be nothing now. It's dead. It's either you're part of that group over there to the left, or you're automatically thrown into the group to the right, just because you don't fuck with the people on the left. And that completely destroyed the sector. And I see other sectors following that same recipe for disaster. They might not know it yet, but just from an outsider looking in, I can see that they're following that recipe where their sector is going to dwindle even more than what it is. If you guys don't think big or do certain things to expand, you're never gonna grow. Um, I don't have big numbers over here, and that is all by design. I don't want a whole bunch of people over here. Then I gotta really dedicate myself to this fucking channel, and I can't do that right now. I can't financially do that. I can't do that, you know what I'm saying, career wise. I can't do that personally. You understand what I'm saying? I got too much shit going on in real life to where I can't make everything about this. I had a moment where I was able to make everything about this. And those days are gone. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time to get back to real life and do the things that are going to benefit you in the future. Um, unless unless I'm about to get me some gold plaque, silver plaque, platinum plaque on this motherfucker. Nothing that I'm gonna do on here is gonna benefit me in the future. I have to have me over 100K subs. Okay, when I go live, I'm getting like 5K plus in my lives. I'm getting, over 100K views on my uploads that I'm doing. If that can happen, then I can dedicate enough time to this shit. That's not happening right now. I'm not making no moves to make that happen. So yeah, that's not what's going on. Um, I've seen a new type of person, a person that I have never seen in my actual free time, in my life, my real life, IRL. I've seen a new type of like leech from being on here. Like, I've never came into contact with anyone with these type of personality traits until I got on here. When I say these types of people are truly jumping jacks, they jump from one thing to the next, one person to the next. Sis, I was having a conversation with my husband today, and girl, I was just talking about some real shit. And I was reminding him of the time when a nigga thought he was motherfucking, he thought he was shy. He thought shit was sweet. And he was running his motherfucking mouth. He was letting liquor, you know what I'm saying? He was letting Modelo's get to him and was saying a bunch of shit. And the motherfucker wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was in the live from the beginning until the end. So I heard everything that was said when that motherfucker was confronted, because in real time, if I hear some shit like that fucking popping off, I'm confronting you in real time. So I'm gonna do it on here too for sure. And when I confronted that person tried to lie and say that that person wasn't, you know what I'm saying, saying some shit about us. So that motherfucker had to get checked for that whole night. I think I did like 3 or 4 motherfucking lives. They got cammed up and some motherfucking shit, just angry as a bitch that fucking night because a bitch ass nigga thought he was, you know what I'm saying, playing. He's like, he was gonna play with us. That's a jumping jack motherfucker. And I've never seen nobody like that ever. Oh, I'm this person friend today. Like 2, 3 days later, I'm cool with this person. I'm cool with that person. That shit is weird as fuck to me. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for a person not to be able to check your temperature because you constantly manipulating it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna act like I like this person today so that this person can show me attention. Just being a fucking manipulating ass bitch or a manipulating bitch ass nigga. I hate people like that in real motherfucking time. Yes, I've come a long way from how I was when I was a teenager to now as an adult. Um, Certain shit, it doesn't bother me like it would bother other fucking people. Putting on a jumpsuit and shit, that shit don't bother me. Okay, um, putting myself on the line don't bother me. Had to do it way too much. I never tell my business on here. Okay, just because of where I am in life right now, I feel like I've outgrown certain shit. But when I tell you before I grew up, yeah. Yeah. That's all that's all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah. Before I grew up, I had to, because you can't behave a certain way once you reach certain levels. You can't do certain things. But it will always be embedded in me. Okay, just know that. Um, it's just weird to just not see a person like, there's only a few motherfuckers that's 100. Let's be honest. But when you see a person that's lower than 50%, it's some 10% motherfuckers on here. It is just weird as fuck when you see that shit. Like, I can't call you a follower. You're worse than a follower. Have y'all ever met somebody that was worse than a follower? Like, you're close to like death, okay? When you're that type of person, you can't make a decision on your own. You can't fucking move on your own. You wait for the crowd to move you. What type of Riri ass person is that? I just Have you ever been at a table with a motherfucking bitch or a nigga and they have talked so much shit about a person? They've been doing this shit for months, even years. And one day you go somewhere and you see this person that you cool with, a person that talks so much shit about that person, and you just see that person just like mob up with them. Like, what? there's violations. Now, like I said, I'm not I want to put this in like I want to put this in the most pristine way that I possibly can and not sound weird. There are certain rules to realness that if you're just a real ass person, you gotta follow. uh, hold on, I just seen it and I just skipped over it. Wait a minute. There is levels to this shit, and there is a level of fakeness that is so beneath the earth. This level of fakeness is so great. It's below the fucking ninth ring of hell. Like it's it's so below everything. Motherfucking Dante never reached it. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about, I'm making a reference towards Dante's Inferno. Some of you motherfuckers are not educated, so I know y'all probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, well, it's more of the heavier literature. Oh, anyway, I'm not going there. Anyways, when I motherfuckers say the level of fakeness is just, you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't even speak on it. I don't even know like how I'm gonna speak on this level of pussy. It's just, oh my god, there is no fucking way I view you as a human anymore. You are now a micro fucking organism. I cannot motherfucking view you as shit else. Once I see you being fake for that goddamn long, and the motherfucker that just supposedly makes your blood boil or make you want to puke or anything other than I'm cool being around this motherfucker, but I just don't fuck with this person. If I see that you that motherfucking fake, like it's like you're translucent now. I can't even see you. Like there should be no one on the face of this planet that's that fucking twisted. That's that fake. Being on this app, I have ran into a few. These type of people are rare. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me tell you this. Demons come in all forms, and I respect the fuck out of a demon. You know why? Because they don't play no games. They let you know what the fuck is up right then and there. It's all about, are they gonna trick you or not? Are you about to come and ride with a nigga or no? Simple. I love that gangster shit. But when you are slippery, slimy, disgusting, soft as a motherfucker, pussy as a motherfucker, when you have to go through life like that, being the quasi motherfucking motto of your story, I just, I can't. People are scary, but there is no level of scary like that. You're on an app. You can make yourself into whatever the fuck you want to. I have never in my whole life ever thought that a person would come on an app, a place where you can invent yourself, reimagine yourself, and a person would reimagine themselves as a pussy, a slug, a scary bitch, a scaredy cat. I'm like, have y'all? I've never seen it. I've never, like, my God. You expect to get on here and you expect to see people who think they're tough. You expect to hear motherfuckers threatening, and you expect that. You do. You just like, bitch, I'm waiting. And you'll be waiting for a lifetime. You expect to see that type of shit. And then you may end up with a situation like what happened down here in Vegas, where them games was played and two motherfucking people lost their life playing on this app because motherfuckers turn what happens on this app into real life shit. You got some of those type of people too. But for you to come up on this app where you can literally use your motherfucking imagination, it's it's sickening for me to even think that some of these people didn't pass elementary school. I can't imagine it. But there has to be some people on this motherfucking app that did not finish grade school. I'm just being so serious right now. You want to come on here, a place where you can be anything. You can use your motherfucking imagination. You can sit in your thinking chair and think. And instead of you being Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, you choose to be a punk. Like, what? That's what you choose to be. You choose to go sit in a corner with other people and talk shit. And then one day, when you see an opening, you slither through the opening and go sit with motherfuckers that you just sat here and spent 75% of your time on an app talking shit about. No, I cannot. If you watch me closely, and I'm not telling anybody to do this, but if you watch me closely, sis, I know you know, okay? There has been a shift even in me. I've gotten worse. There was a point that made that shift happen. If you know me well enough or you've watched me, you will be able to tell when that shift happened. It was one incident that made that shift happen. After a while, you get sick and tired of certain shit. You get sick and tired of seeing certain things. You get sick and tired of being around certain things. This is why I'm pushing the message of everyone staying with their kind. This is an app true, but it seems a lot of you are taking what happens on this app and you're taking it home with you. You're putting it underneath your pillow. You're reading it bedtime stories. Since that's a choice that you're making, then it's best for you to find what your kind is and stay with your kind. I love having my private lives. Um, it's freedom. Now, instead of me even doing that, I turn it into something like this where I don't need to be private. I'm saying whatever the fuck I want to on here because I don't care. It's not that serious. But there's always a turning point where a person is like, okay, this is kind of weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. When I started to see that a shift needed to occur, that a sort of rebalance. Because when I first came on here, I felt very balanced, but a sort of rebalance needed to happen. It was not subtle, it was immediate, and the shift started immediately. Okay? It started immediately. If you can't understand certain shit, that's happening, you don't need to be in certain situations. You don't need to be in certain atmospheres if you can't understand. Trying to be nice and not be who the fuck I am, it had me walking into situations where I would have most certainly avoided in real time. Just being too nice. You got to understand that, like, when you extend your hand to a Riri, okay, and you're not a Riri your damn self, but you extend your hand to a Riri, you gotta know that there's gonna be at least two more Riris that's gonna come from that Riri that you extended your hand out to. And if y'all look, fucking shit, my as of right now, my shit, I'm not monetized. When I say Riri, I'm talking about a retarded person, just so that that's clear. You gotta understand that they come in packs, y'all. Absolutely, sissy, a shift was needed because certain people didn't understand. Yep, facts. And it couldn't be, it couldn't happen like softly. It couldn't happen subtly. It had to be an explosion. It had to be an explosion. Okay? It had to. And when things like that happen, let me talk a certain way. I've been really into some new games. Um, like for instance, Ready or Not, the new Mafia game, and I'm speaking from a place of like the new Mafia game, just in case you guys don't motherfucking know I'm a gamer. But anyway, um, you need your situation to fit your personality. Okay, you need your atmosphere to fit your lifestyle, and once you see that something in it doesn't, you need to make the decision immediately. It needs to be swift. It needs to be permanent. You understand what I'm saying? And for quite some time, I saw a piece that didn't fit. And that piece turned into more pieces to the point where I couldn't even see the picture anymore. There were too many awkward ass pieces that didn't fit. Once I had so many of those awkward pieces, everything blew the fuck up. Everything blew up. I don't want to tell any spoilers of any games that we play over here or anything like that. But one thing that's for certain, and like I said, I'm talking about if you've ever played one game from the Mafia franchise, then you understand um, what I'm saying right now. Sometimes you have to turn on people. Like, I don't want to use the word betrayal, but sometimes you actually have to turn on people. You do. One of the things that society wants you to believe is that turning over a new leaf or turning the tides or you understand what I'm saying? It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Whenever you change directions, whenever you pivot, you're making a turn. Okay. So if it has to do with a person, you're turning on them. Period. I need you to understand that sometimes it's a must. Even though that's painted in a bad light to turn on a person, sometimes it's a must. Because when a person betrays you, or when a person turns on you, you can't keep going forward. You can't be on the straight and narrow with that person. You got to also turn on that person too. It's not always a bad thing. And being on this app, I've had to do that. I've had to do that. And I have no remorse for it. I don't feel that it was a bad decision. I feel that it was a good decision because I would have been stuck in that bottomless pit. And I'm so very happy that I'm not in that bottomless pit anymore. I was introduced to way too many Riris because of that situation. And there was a multitude of things that was happening behind the scenes that I had knowledge of. Like I said, it went the best way that it could, because if it would have went a little, if I would have went as hard as I was planning on going, yeah. Thank God I was subtle with how I handled that. But this is why you have to stay with your kind, so that situations like that never happen. People make fun of certain things all the time. My sis and I, we had this like month where we changed our names, and she changed her name to Backwood Barbie. And because it fits her personality. You know, she is a down home Southern, I'm not going to say Belle. She is a beast, but she has Belle in her. She's Beauty and the Beast. You feel me? So she changed her name to Backwood Barbie Leggett. I changed my name to Valetto Barbie Lush. Um, One thing that used to irritate me all the time when we were younger, and I would be introduced to new people in my husband's life or my friends' lives, and they wouldn't meet me per se. They would always say, "Is she white?" I hated that. I really did. And you could tell it's not something I'm making up. It's just true. That is one thing that just used to irritate the fuck out of me. I would have a conversation with people over the phone, like when I met one of my friends' family in Cali for the first time. Um, as a youngin, my entire life we always went on family trips, and one place that we didn't go to was L.A. We couldn't go to L.A. because my father had active warrants. My father had active warrants in LA. One warrant he had because he drove through someone's house. Um, he had a little reputation. So we would go a lot of other places. I lived in two cities in Cali before. Um, we just couldn't touch LA. We just could not touch LA. So when I got old enough, that was the first place I wanted to go. Wanted to go to LA because, like I said, as a family, we just couldn't touch that place. To keep my father free. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and I was going to meet my whole friend's family for the first time. We grew up together, and like for the first time, I was so excited. But all of them, they talked to me on the phone, and all of them, they were like, "We were expecting a white girl," and I was like, "Why? Why were y'all expecting a white girl? That's crazy. I don't sound white." And that shit just kept going. It kept going. I have adapted to so many different ways of speaking because I live here in Las Vegas, and I come into contact with people from the East Coast, the Midwest, people from the South. I'm from the South myself. And when I came here, my accent was extremely thick, and I wanted to get rid of it. I promise you. I wanted to get rid of my accent. When I was younger, I was kind of ashamed. I've always been a smart bitch. Don't get me twisted. But accents is not the same thing. It's a big misconception that people down south are ignorant because of the way they talk. No, it's called an accent. And I just wanted to get rid of it. I really did. So I worked really hard to get rid of it. And for a long time, it was one word that just kept stumping me. Y'all know what that word is. It was foul. Um, and I'm not talking about like foul ball. I'm talking about like, I need you to put these files away. I could not stop saying foul, foul, foul. I hated that word for so long. I was never one of those people who said strawberry or screet. I never said things like that, but my accent was very, very thick in between upper Louisiana, bottom of Louisiana, New Orleans. I tell my story all the time. That's where my family really is from. And my mother carried me all the way until she was in labor with me. My mother ended up getting mugged, and the guy put a knife to her stomach, and she had my brother in her arms. This was like in an empty lot near their house where they were living. My father was at home and he was drunk in a drunken stupor. And my mom had to go to the store. She had to handle business. So she took my brother. My oldest brother was my grandmother, and she took my second oldest brother, and she was pregnant with me, to go to the store, and he pulled her in the vacant lot and put a knife to her stomach and told her that she needed to do what he was telling her to do, or else he was going to push the knife in. And my mom, handed over her purse, and he was trying to sexually assault her, and that's when she beat his ass. And when she did that, my mother pulled some type of muscle, and she went into labor. And my mom was so pissed at my father and so scared. She called my grandparents, and they bought her a plane ticket, and she was on the first thing smoking out of New Orleans. And as soon she was in labor already. As soon as she got off the plane, they rushed her to the hospital, and that's where she had me. So all I heard, as a wee little pup growing in my mother's stomach, was baby and all that other shit. So going back and forth with my grandparents, I picked up all that shit. My brother, that shit is never going away from my brother, okay? It's never going away. But coming here and hearing so much dialect, I remixed how I spoke, and this is what I ended up getting. It, I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird where I don't know. It's just I say sausage. I can't stop saying that, and I don't know. It's so crazy. I say dog, and uh, I just talk weird. Okay, but you don't hear yourself when you speak. So when you talk to other people, it's I just kept hearing it over and over again, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what are you guys listening to? I don't. I recorded myself and I listened back, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't hear. And then even on here, there's a few people that's like, I love your voice. You have like, it's something about your voice, and I'm like, what is it? Because there's times when my allergies be kicking my ass, and I kind of sound, like a little deep voice. So I don't hear it. Whatever it is, I don't hear it. But one thing that I heard my entire life was, you sound like a white girl. So I put this in my head, like, okay, I'll be that then. I'll be Valetto. I'll be Valiant Ghetto. Like, I just put that in my head, and that stuck. And it's something I've been saying for a really long time, ever since like middle school. I've been saying that. So we changed our names. And from that point on, I was like, okay. I felt super comfortable, sis. Like, the most comfortability that I've had since being on this app. I felt hella comfortable. And I never wanted that to stop. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things I like. And I felt like I was kind of covering that up a little bit. And I didn't want to cover that up anymore. Like, you go to these women, like this grinds my gears. Oh my God. You go, I think I said this before, but you go to these women's lives and all you hear is all of this rap music, all this cussing and fussing and talking about popping coochies and all this shit. And you go here and there and all you see is videos of bitches twerking, and that is so not my personality. Don't get me wrong, I like all types of music, but that is not my personality. It really isn't. I love neo soul. I love jazz. I love country. I love pop. I love. I really, 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 really love soul. You know what I'm saying? I really love soul, neo soul. That's my favorite. Jazz. That's my favorite. I was like, I'm gonna stop playing certain music over here because that's not me. Right, sis. That's not me anymore. I don't even want to put that out there like it is me. So you'll get all the lovey-dovey music, or as my teddy bear says, the drug sniffing music. Yes, the drug sniffing music. Put in the nose in the chat. Put in the line in the chat. You'll get that. Cause that's me. That's me. I like easy listening music. When I play games, no bull, right? So when I play my games and shit, I will go to my Pandora. I don't like Spotify and all. Oh, let me be quiet just in case. Let me not, down no big ass companies. But I'm a Pandora girl. I'm old school with it, and I love turning on my cafe jazz music. I love my easy listening music. I love my piano jazz. I love what people call elevator music. I love listening to that when I'm playing games. I'm literally blowing people's domes off, okay? And as I'm shooting people on the game, I'm listening to like Dizzy Gillespie. Like for real. I'm doing chaos with my hands, but my mental is on some type of chill shit. I love that. And in that moment, I was like, let me stay within my own boundaries. Let me stay with my kind. You feel me? Stop watching so much yelling and screaming and booty shaking and started watching what the fuck is going on in my country. You know, I'm knee deep into news of the Cheeto occupying DC right now. Basically took it over. This being the beginning steps of what's happening with the Hispanic community with immigration. Yeah, this is the beginning steps of what this motherfucker think he has planned for us other minorities, such as us black people. Next, he'll probably go after some of his naysayers of his own race. Let's see how he's gonna do that. There's a lot of shit going on right now. And I know from the places that I've been on here, a lot of you don't care. Y'all care about imaginary relationships on here. Y'all care about what two grown ass people is doing with each other. You know, y'all go around all day talking about how popular you are, but when you cut off this motherfucker, you you don't hear a peep in your motherfucking house because there's nobody there to love you. There's nobody there to entertain you. There's nobody there to make you feel special. So you have to turn on this app right here just so you can feel alive. I have no clue what it feels like to not be loved, showered. I don't I don't know how that feels. It's been like that my entire life. Okay? This man right here that is snoring in my face right now, he chased me. It's a forever chase that I guess will never end. So I do not know what that shit feels like. Sis, yo, she can relate to me. Hers chased her forever too. We don't know what it feels like to actually be alone. No one chasing you, no one loving you, no one willing to jump in front of a bus for you, no one willing to put everything on the line, just so that you could see what the fuck they're doing. They need attention. No one to nag you. I just said yesterday, I was like, you're nagging me right now. Leave me the fuck alone. And he's laughing like the shit's funny. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm playing the video game. He's grabbing my boob. And I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. And he just kept doing it, laughing like it was funny. Stop. Why are you going to wake up? Go back to sleep. Anyway, I be talking shit about this nigga. He be right here. But anyway, it's so many of you guys that do not know what the fuck that feels like. Y'all do not know what it feels like to be like in middle school. It's not the summer either. It's school time. And you get off of school, you're at home, you put your backpack up, you do your little homework and you're chilling. You're about to watch some TV or something. And it's this fucking nigga outside, like waiting for you to come outside, either knock on the door, throw pebbles at your window, or just nagging you. Like, damn, can I watch TV? Power Rangers is about to come on. Can I watch Power Rangers? I'm just thinking of Power Rangers because that's the new little character that's on fucking Fortnite. I watched Power Rangers in the morning before I went to sleep. Before I went to school. So anyway, like, damn, can I watch TV? It's Friday. You want me to come outside and do what with you? Go climb a tree? Like what? TGIF is about to come on. Family Matters. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch Family Matters. Leave me alone. And the motherfucker is just at the door knocking like, can she come outside? Like, I don't want to play with you. Get the fuck from in front of my door. For you to have a motherfucker like that, for you to be, kicking it at work, about to get off work, and somebody is blowing you up like, it's New Year's Eve. Are you off yet? Like, no, you're lying. You're off and shit. You trying to go home and hurry up, put on your clothes. What you doing? Chilling. I've been working since I was 15. Okay, so I'm about to chill. What's up with you? Nothing. Just want to see what you was doing this New Year's Eve. You want to come over? Like, no. I want to spend New Year's Eve with my girls. I don't want to fucking hang out with you. You know what I'm saying? Then, boom, here comes the baby. Now you're stuck. You're stuck forever. You got to get goose egg on your head. Right. Now you're stuck forever. A lot of you guys don't know what that feels like. Even if you don't end up married or with children with that person, none of y'all know what it feels like to always have a knock on your fucking door. Always hear your phone ringing. You get off work at 3 p.m. If your motherfucking bestie not hitting you up at 3 p.m., okay? My sis will wake up at 5 a.m. her time now. 5 a.m. her time. Okay? It's like fucking what? 3 a.m. my time? No, you 3 hours from me. So no. It's 2 a.m. my time. If you ain't getting a text message at 5 a.m. your bestie time, 2 a.m. your motherfucking time. You motherfuckers do not understand how that feels. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what it feels like. I'm at work and I'm so guilty of this and I'm sorry, sis. I'm at work and I'm hands on all day. There's no time I have to just take out my phone and just look at it. I gotta wait until I go to the bathroom or I actually take a lunch break. And by that time, I look at my phone and I see about 5 messages. 5 messages from Leggy. No, you're good. Listen to what I'm telling people. This is love. You understand what I'm saying? I see about 5 text messages. You know, she gonna make sure she here for me. You understand what I'm saying? If half of a day that went past and I haven't replied, I had a real busy fucked up day. These 16-hour shifts, girl, it's not like how it used to be, sis. Remember when I used to work my 16-hour shifts and I was able to talk to you? I was able to video chat with you. I was able to text. I was able to be in some of these lives and listen to what's going on. You know, it's real different when you move up in the world. It's very different. You have a lot of downtime depending on like what department you work in. You have a lot of downtime. I don't have downtime like that no more. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Having to go from one facility to the next facility, that downtime is over. You don't even have downtime when you're going from one facility to the other facility because you got a certain time frame, and then it's hot as fuck out here. The traffic is all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because between both of the cities, it's a real facilities. It's a real busy part of town, and you got an hour to get there. It's like I gotta focus on driving. I gotta focus on eating and drinking, whatever the hell I'm gonna pick up and go get. I gotta call my husband. I gotta check on my babies. I got all of this shit I gotta do, and I gotta I gotta race against time and shit. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It it be real. I be scared, because we had that situation where you didn't remember. I be scared like that shit gonna happen again and shit. So I be hella alert. And my children, they got so much going on. They got all these friends and they got all their cousins that they playing co-ops and group games and everybody got my phone and died. It's dead in the middle of a game. So now her phone on the charger, she gotta take my phone. I ain't got no goddamn phone. By the time I get my phone back in the morning when I'm getting ready to go to work, I got about 10 missed calls. I got 10 missed calls. I got 30 missed messages. Because she was on my phone for so goddamn long. I'm asleep. You know, my iPhone is more update than hers. So it be the life of a mother, the life of, a career woman, the life of a busy bitch. It's just pure crazy. And with all that shit going on, I'm this shit right here. When I think about coming on here, when I think about doing all of this shit, I be like, stay with my kind, like for real. I got until the 14th to do my appeal for my monetization, and I don't even think I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care. I don't. There's really no reason for me to do it. There isn't. There's no reason for me to do it at all whatsoever. Nope. I can just reapply in about a month. So I'm straight. I'm comfortable. I'm super, super comfortable with everything. I was so excited. Remember, since I was so excited when I got all my little gadgets. Okay, so I'm going on like a gadget binge now. I'm a gadget freak now, and I have the cutest um, containers for all my shit in my pantry. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I had like Rubbermaid containers where they were, made of mostly plastic. Um, and you can see through them. Oh no, no, no. I got some sexy ceramics, okay? I am just thrilled. Oh, sis, I use my waffle cone maker. I love it. Guess what I can do? I can oil it up. I could take a corn tortilla and put it in there, and oh my god, it crisps up just like a tortilla chip. And I can put all today's Taco Tuesday, so I'm doing it today. I could put all my taco fillings in it and make my little taco ball. Oh my god, I am just girl. I feel exactly how I felt when I got my sushi bazooka. I am crazed about these fucking housewares now. Point me in the direction of any of these bitches in these sectors that we all frequent. I know who's listening to my shit. Point me in the direction of any other bitch on here that's talking about shit like this. You're not gonna find any of them. We're up here talking about housewares and new dishes. Okay? And I'm not talking about China. I'm talking about food. New dishes. I was determined. I don't know if you guys remember, but I am learning Japanese. And I'm almost there to where I can add on, a little bit of French, Francois or whatever. That's coming next. But anyway, I just like went crazy over learning how to make certain dishes like pho and my California rolls. Okay, I just went crazy. I took a whole class, a whole online class, a sushi making class. Okay, and wasted money because I watched a handful of free ass videos and found out how to nigger rig all that stuff. Did you know you can use an ice tray, a regular plastic ice tray that you would fill it with water and put in your freezer? See, I don't have to do that no more. I have an ice maker. But anyway, a portable, meaning in my room because I eat so much ice. Um, anyway, but you can take an ice tray, and you can put your like salmon, your smoked salmon on the bottom, and then put the rice, and then turn it over and pop it a few times, and it comes out, and voila, little mini sushis. Little mini sushis. Nobody, they talking about men and women popping ass, giving ass. Yep, sticking penis in ass, licking ass, all that good shit. That's what they talking about. You absolutely right, sis. Yep. Instead of being on here, they need to be on Twain and Swenson. Exactly. All facts, sis. I don't want to hear about that type of shit. I see dick every day. I don't care. I have to look at my own coochie every day. I don't care. Okay? Like, fuck what you talking about. Like, by default, you know what I'm saying? It's a few other coochies I done seen every other day. I'm just saying, like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to be on here worried about what somebody else is doing. My Snoopy, how are you? You had your wisdom teeth removed? Ooh, I know that was brutal. I hope you are well rested. Okay, staying at a peaceful state. relaxing, eating. What do you have to change what you eat when you get your wisdom teeth pulled? I don't know because I still have mine. Um, yeah, I still have my wisdom teeth. When are they supposed to come out? I don't know nothing about teeth. I know about other parts of the body, but I don't know anything about teeth. Hopefully, mine's never give me any issues. But I think I had enough space for them to come in, right? And I don't know. My brother, he had all his wisdom teeth pulled. It was rough. He was in a lot of pain. I hate the dentist. I'm sorry. I hate the dentist. Like I do. I have a I don't know if you know Snoopy, but I have a tumor um in my mandible. It's actually underneath damn, I think it's 5, 6, 7 and a partial under 8. The placement of our teeth, the top ones, you start I think from the left. Like, I think you go from the tooth next to the canine tooth. What the fuck are they called? Are they incisors? But you start from there and you basically count at the top and then you go down to the bottom. You count every type of tooth. That's how you keep your dental records. You count every tooth that's the same. So the canines you count differently from the incisors, and you count the what? Oh my God, what are these flat ones called? You get what I'm saying. But yeah, you count them all differently. So if we have like 30 something teeth in our mouth, we don't just go from the back and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go to the other side. That's not how you count them. You count each group of tooth. And I believe we have 3 or 4 different types of teeth, and you count them. So when I say like 6, 7, 8, I'm talking about the bottom ones, right? From the top ones that you normally bite and I guess tear these teeth. It was explained to me. I'm not a dentist, but yeah, I have a tumor underneath those. So it has grown over the years and it's gotten pretty big. And what ended up happening was I had a cyst behind the tumor in damn, what year was that? Was that 19? 2018? In 2000 it was right before C19. The I went to the dentist. They wanted to check on the tumor to see the growth and to see like what the hell's going on. Teeth still healthy, still good. So they didn't want to pull them out. They said that I was too young to be missing teeth. Once they pull them out, I'm done. I would have to get some screwed in teeth or something. Um, but yeah, they he moved them and it kind of hurt. It hurt. So I went home and as I was watching TV, I heard something pop. I don't know. I felt it pop or heard it pop. I don't know. I heard something in my ear or whatever. It popped. And as I'm watching TV, it was literally like The Exorcist. Blood just started gushing up all in my face. It was in my eyes. I started smearing it all over my face. Like, I was scared. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what the hell happened. Oh, do I have that pic? No, no, no. I might not. I used the picture as a profile picture once before, but I was bleeding everywhere. There was blood all over the place. Thank you, Snoopy. I'm actually pretty good right now. Doing very good. The stomach and eye, teeth. Yeah, I don't play with teeth. Teeth is, man, is your top teeth your beaver teeth? Yep, the beaver. No, Um, my kids say Bugs Bunny teeth, and they talk about my bottoms. They don't talk about my top because, like I said, the tumor is growing. Eventually, they are gonna have to come out, and I'm just waiting. until I get real old for that to happen. I have all of my teeth that God gave me, no issues. And when they do finally come out and I have to get some screwed in teeth, I just want to make sure it's because I had no other choice. The tumor is, you know what I'm saying? It's not malignant. It's benign. So, I'm good. It's not cancerous. So I'm good. All they're gonna do is just they're gonna open. They're gonna pull my teeth. They're gonna open my chin or whatever. I lost a lot of bone density there. So, if you really wanted to hurt me, all you gotta do is just karate kick me in my motherfucking chin. That's all you gotta do. Is my chin is just gonna collapse because it's just nothing but a big ass mass, a tumor behind a little bone right there. That's all you gotta do. But just know, when you do that, that's not going to kill me. So that means you fucked up. That was your one shot. After that, I'm gonna tear your ass up. Yeah, my chin is gonna be fucked up. But guess what? Like my oral surgeon said, they just gonna put a plate, a metal plate there with screws. I'm gonna have a robotic chin, robotic chin. I don't want to have to go through any unnecessary surgeries. So yeah, these teeth is gonna stay where the fuck they at. This tumor is gonna stay where the fuck it is. Let's just be honest. You can't even tell though, for real. Like that's how on the low it is. You can't even tell. Only way people know is if I tell them or if I show them my X-rays or whatever. That's it. But like I said, thank you, Jesus. That it wasn't cancerous and I'm okay. You know what I mean? So I just don't like teeth shit. I hate the dentist. You just waiting there and all you hear is me. Oh, that's all you hear? Nah, I'm cool. You're about to do what? Yeah, put me to sleep. I don't like it. I don't know why. It scares me. So I feel so bad for anybody who's dealing with teeth issues. Um, I know how that is. When I found out about my tumor, I had horrific tooth pain, a pain that I've never had in my life. I have had all these kids with no drugs, and that shit was a breeze. I handled it like a track star. But that tooth shit, mm-mm. You be like, oh God, I just want to die. Take me out. Take me the fuck out. I don't like that shit. So thank God you dropped. I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Y'all can tell that was a nightmare for me. I just took like 10 minutes explaining that. I done got all sweaty and shit. Like, oh my God. That was so scary. Beaver teeth. I hate when my kids say that shit though. Bugs Bunny. They call me Bugs Bunny. Kids can be cruel. They can be cruel. I gotta put this up in a ponytail because it just fell again. So yeah, in closing, you can still stay with your kind and be happy on here. You don't have to do too much. Do just enough. And that's it. See how I just did this live and I went over. I was only supposed to be on here for 30 minutes. And I went completely over that time. Every time when I say I'm going to be on here for 30 minutes, I'm never on here for 30 minutes. I think I talk too much. When I was in high school, I got voted most talkative multiple times. I said, screw y'all. I know I talk a whole lot. That's why I'm on the debate team. So I can argue, yell, and scream with some of you motherfuckers. It gets the blood rushing. But You talk a lot when you're comfortable. You talk a lot when you're enjoying yourself. And that's what I do now. I don't feel rushed or that I have to perform like a circus monkey or whatever when I get on here. I just get on here, talk a little bit, and fucking get the fuck off. It's so many of y'all that can't do that shit because y'all feel like y'all have to perform or y'all talk about the same shit. I'm like, damn, like, is that like, is that it? Every day y'all talking about some sexual shit. Do y'all need to get fucked or something? Like, what's wrong with y'all? I feel like when people do that shit, they have a deviation. Y'all better ask my husband how I feel about that type of shit. He'll tell y'all. You know, that's some Jeffrey Dahmer. Um, what's that Gacy name? That Gacy dude? That's that Jeffrey Epstein shit. Let's throw his ass in on there. That's that shit. That's that Ghislaine Maxwell shit. Okay, you got some type of deviation. If that's all you think about, if that's the only thing you could talk about, you ain't got no motherfucking flavor in your life. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't have different facets of yourself. That's it. That's all you giving. That's it. Like, I most definitely don't want to lay up with you. I could tell you boring. If that's all you giving off, you don't have no flair, no nothing. I just don't get it. I'll be the first person to motherfucking hop on somebody's link and just be like, do you guys want to see my new knives? I got some cute gold tipped kitchen knives. Do you want to see them? I'll change the subject real quick. How many times can you tell a person, oh, I like to do this, I like to do that? That's weird shit. Every time when I'm looking to see who live and I go on somebody's live and I hear that type of shit, I'd be like, no, I leave. If I was a bitch, I'd fucking dislike that shit. Okay? Just like it. It's just so weird to constantly talk about that. Like, damn, you're not doing nothing else. Like, it's Taco Tuesday. Y'all ain't got no motherfucking taco bars. Where Leggin, you got a taco bar where you at? Probably not where you at, but like in town. Is there like a taco bar or like a margarita bar or something? I know it's a daiquiri stand. Do they sell tacos at the daiquiri stand? Nope, you're not here for just no 30 minutes. Like, maybe I'm wrong with it. Maybe, it's because of where I am. Maybe I'm wrong with it. Maybe I think there should be like, everybody has a bar. Like, there's no like chips and dip, like chips and salsa. Like, it's Taco Tuesday at the bar, so we have Tuesday specials. We got our wish sandwiches. Like, no places like that because maybe I'm wrong. I'm looking at this the wrong way right now because of where I live. Maybe I need to slow my motherfucking roll, okay? Because of where I live. Of course, we got taco bars out here. Of course, you know what I'm saying? We got cantinas. That's what the bar is. We got cantinas out here everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Our little, you know what I'm saying? Our little papitos and papitas, we got places. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Our little hombres put on they little cute boots and they hats, and they go when they have a good old time Taco Tuesday. Okay, I can take my ass to millions of places and get me a big fat ass burrito, some motherfucking quesadillas. Okay, some give me some motherfucking horchata. Okay, some motherfucking tecate, some Dos Equis, and just chill. We have bars. Of course, you got bars. Hopefully, they got Taco Tuesday specials. Like, you get some chips and some dip with like a with like a Modelo or some shit with a Corona. Like, Coronas are $2 today, for Taco Tuesday. Something. Like I said, I think I might have did too much just because of where I live. It's not like that where everybody else lives. So sometimes I be doing too much. In closing, I do want to bring this up. I saw the cutest thing. Um, Someone that I watch. It's a conversation that's going around on the web about the top 4 cities in this country. And basically, like the first two, everyone should say, more than likely in the order. You damn right, sis. Cognac with our conversations. And on Tuesday, we might have a little tostada, little sopa, just a little burrilla with some motherfucking cerveza. Okay, all that good shit. Some fresh cilantro and lime. Uh, a wish, a wish sandwich, a lime and cilantro wish sandwich. Mm-mm. So yes, there was this thing where everyone needed to list the top 4 cities in this country, and basically, it's a big like conversation that's happening. Like the first two, of course, is a given, and even in the same order, it's a given. Girl, yes, that motherfucker used to call them motherfuckers Mandela. That shit was hilarious. That shit was hella. I was like, Mandela, hold on, you drinking some off brand shit? You drinking some off brand shit, nigga? That was everything. That was. I ain't gonna lie. Uh, Mosquito looking ass. Uh, so I had a conversation in the comments. It was good. It was hella good. So basically, everyone is in a consensus about one being New York and two being LA. But when you get 2, 3, 4, that's where the conversation starts. And I agreed with the content creators list. I just didn't agree with. I didn't agree with one thing that was said. It was no, yeah. I didn't agree with one thing that was said, and he didn't say it. Someone else said it. He took another video from someone that he was like, "This is the way I would do my list," and he was like, basically, I agree with everything that he says in his video. And basically, in his video, he said that the top 4 was New York, LA, Chicago, and New Orleans. The reason is, of course, Chicago for me is also 3 because it is absolutely rich in history and it is a media market. Um, so much swag, so much Americanism. So yeah, I'm very comfortable with saying Chicago's 3. I also agree with New Orleans being on the list because of it being, so flavorful, so full of culture, and, it being the place of the birth of jazz music. And it's so rich also in history when it comes to this country. But I would put it on a list of top 5, not 4. I had to go to bat for my city, okay? I had to go to bat for Las Vegas. And the reason why I had to go to bat for Las Vegas is because what was said in the video is that my city, the person said I would put Vegas on the list. The reason why it's not going to be on my list is because he said all the good things about Vegas on why he would put on the list. And then he said 2 things that just blew my mind. He said the reason why I'm not putting it on this list for top 4 and I'm putting New Orleans there is because Vegas doesn't have any culture and Vegas is kind of a fake town. Girl, I was in the motherfucking comments fighting for my life, girl. Okay, I'm like, first off, you don't live here. Of course you don't understand. You don't live here. Back home in Louisiana, my friends, they were like, where do you guys live? Where do you guys live out there? I mean, do you guys live in a casino? That is so cool that you guys live in a casino. And I'm just laughing my ass off like, no, bitch. I live in a house just like you live in. Like, what the fuck? We have real neighborhoods out here. And see, the thing about out here that is not like anywhere else, we have parks on every corner. We have for every zip code out here, we have 1 or 2 libraries. Okay, park and recreations out here is the business. It's the business, okay? There is nowhere where you can live out here where there's not a convenience store. Nowhere. Everything that you can need is right on the corner, no matter where you live. It's right on the corner. There's some people who move here and they lie, and that's what I hate. They like to lie and try to make it seem like they live in prestigious areas out here. Don't believe them. It was a motherfucker over there in the Mo3 sector, a jobless motherfucker over there, that was basically trying to say he lived in a prestigious area. How? You're jobless, bitch. That don't even make any sense, my nigga. It's impossible for you to live out here in a prestigious area and you got a fucking job. Okay? It is too expensive out here. Back in the early 2000s, you could get a 2-bedroom out here for $600. And that is actually in a nice area. You could actually get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath out here for $500 in the early 2000s. Now, to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath out here, you paying $1,800. You paying $1,800. Okay? We have a lot of shit that has come to this city. They've done so much building here. So much. But if a person tries to tell you they live in a prestigious neighborhood and it's not one of these 3 neighborhoods, they're lying to you. And I'm sorry, I'm 4, not one of these 4 neighborhoods. Unless that person tells you that they live, they now listen to me. There's a lot of people who will immediately say, I live in a nice neighborhood, I live in Summerlin. You automatically, they're lying. They're lying. Summerlin is a subdivision. It's pretty large. They have trailer parks there. They have cheap ass apartments. They have low income housing over there. And a lot of people who are on Section 8, they moved out there to that area. So that person's lying. That's really where all the niggas and Hispanic people, that's where they went. They left the inner city. They left the east side. They left central Las Vegas and they moved out that way. So when that person says some shit like that, they're lying. They're lying. But yeah, if a person says they live in Spanish Trails, yeah, that's money. That's money there. If a person tells you they live in Rhodes Ranch, yeah, that's money. If a person tells you they live in Southern Highlands, yeah, that's money. I have a Southern Highlands story. I believe I drunk the blood of an ancestor in some bomb ass Merlot. Yeah, that's a weird ass story. I'll tell it another time. Um, I mean, no, I'm gonna tell it right now. I'm gonna say the other area. And if you live in Anthem, yeah, there's no houses in Anthem that are below $1 million. But yeah, Anthem. The most expensive houses out here tend to be in the back of Summerlin, near like this one big golf course on the way out towards Old Nevada, Red Rock, all of those places. That is where Tiger Woods has a house. That is near it's near the area where Tyson's house is and shit like that. That's very expensive houses. Also, over here where I live. Literally. One day I'm going, not day, because well, I'm going to it cools off this summer. So yeah, day. I am going to do a walk with you guys so that you guys can see how close I live to multi-million dollar homes. Arnold Schwarzenegger had a house out here that literally is right here. Like the street separates the side of the street I live on from where his house was. It's a little higher on the hill. Than where I live, but Arnold Schwarzenegger had a house out here when he was governor of California. Okay, big ass, multi-million dollar home. Jamie Foxx has a house right up the street from where I live right now. It'll take me 2 minutes to get there. Okay, these houses are built from the ground up. There's this beautiful Okinawa inspired house. Literally, it's 1 minute walking from my fucking house. All I have to do is just go out to the main street and just fucking walk to the left, and boom, it's right there. It's right there. These houses up here are extremely expensive up here. Not my house, but I'm just saying up here. Okay, up here. So yeah, motherfuckers be lying all the time. If you don't live in one of those four motherfucking neighborhoods that I just said, yeah, you don't live in no prestigious neighborhood. I'll repeat them again. That's Spanish Trails, Rose Ranch, Southern Highlands. Oh, I'm sorry. It's five. Anthem, and how can I forget? Seven Hills. My bad. I forgot Seven Hills. I forgot about that. Michael Vick has a house out there. I parked my car near his house before when I was going to an industry party up there. But yeah, Seven Hills. So there's five prestigious neighborhoods out here. My bad. Now, let me tell you my Southern Highlands story before I end this damn live. So, my baby used to work out there. They they want prestige when it comes to certain shit out there. And just picking up some security guard off the street, that's not gonna do. They need it prestigious. Okay, so for the entire neighborhood, for the whole, like the whole subdivision of Southern Highlands, my baby was in charge of protecting all of that, right? So there was this lady that lived in there. Every night she would hop in her car. She would get drunk, okay? And she would hop in her car and she would drive like to the beginning of the community. And one night she fucking rammed her car into the sign, the Southern Highlands sign, which is a big ass fucking boulder. Okay. And every night she would do this, and basically, are you okay, miss? We're gonna take you back to your house. She would never get into any legal trouble. These is rich ass motherfuckers. This woman is so filthy rich. I never asked her how much money she had or nothing like that. Filthy fucking rich. So I came to pick him up one night. This was literally, I think I did it twice. Other than that, I never had to pick him up. But literally, like, you can't drive in the neighborhood. You have to uh, ride motorized scooters, bikes, shit like that. No driving for the security that rose the neighborhood. So I went. I parked my car and I was just waiting, and this happened. So I went back to her home with her, and when I say this motherfucker, this house was so big. This was on some fucking Addams Family type of shit. And she was like, come in. And I was scared. Listen, when a rich ass white lady that looked like motherfucking Elon Musk mama, and y'all know I'm scared of her. I'm scared of the way she looks. When that lady told me to come into her house, nigga, I'm afraid that I'm never coming out again. I was so scared. But I came in. She was like, do you drink? I was like, yeah. She was like, what do you drink? And I was like, I love wines, but I like certain wines. I love deep reds, like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. She was like, oh, so do I. Perfect, right? This bitch brings out a bottle of fucking wine that I've never seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no rich bitch. She brought out a bottle of wine that I've never seen in my entire life. It looked like, you know how the Louis, I think it's Louis, right? Look like Crown. How the Louis bottles look. This wine looked like that. Have you guys ever seen this? Have you guys ever seen this show called I Dream of Jeannie? The fucking bottle, the bottle that she came out of. That's what it looked like. It looked like that bottle. My apologies. So, where was I at? Okay, yeah. So it looked like that bottle. It was the most deepest red wine I've ever seen in my life. Very plummy. Okay, very plummy. When she poured me a glass, first off, the glass that she poured me, I fell in love with. This really was the start of me wanting to make my own glasses and falling in love with the collection of champagne flutes, wine glasses, celebratory glasses. So the glass was super beautiful. I didn't even want to touch it. But I noticed that the wine didn't pour. Like, I don't want to explain this. If you guys have, the time, go buy a bottle of red Moscato and then go buy a bottle of Merlot. I want you to pay attention to how they pour. Pay attention to how they pour. At one point, I was going to become a wine sommelier. I took classes, okay, and then of course I went back. You know what I'm saying, to my day job. I wanted to deal with celebrities and shit like that, but after I did that for a little while, I was like, nah, I'm cool. That's not for me. So anyway, I don't think I'm gonna tell too much of my business. But pay attention to the difference between the way red Moscato pours versus Merlot. Now, I'm not even telling you to go get a specific brand. Go get a cheap brand and just see the difference in the way they pour. This Merlot, I didn't even ask her the year. She said the year, I just don't remember. This was so long ago. This was like early 2000s. It wasn't early. Well, yeah, I mean, anything below 2010 is early 2000s. So, yeah, it was early 2000s. But the way this wine poured, it was like, how do I want to describe it? Hmm. It was heavy. That's what I want to say. It was heavy. Like, they have this wine. It's called, it's like Concord grape wine. It pours pretty heavy. That Taylor port, it pours heavy too. But the way that this wine poured, it was pretty heavy. It just, I don't know, it didn't give me the vibe of like a grape wine. It was more so like it was something else to it. Like, like cherries and cranberries is a little bit heavy. You guys won't understand what I'm saying. But the whole point is that I could tell by the pour that it was different. When I tasted it, it was crazy because tasting shit like that, tasting very expensive liquor, it fucks you up. It fucks your taste buds up. You automatically feel like anything that you taste that is that name, it's supposed to taste like that. Like that Merlot that she gave me, it didn't taste like any other Merlot that I've ever had because it was so motherfucking expensive. I'm never spending that type of money on some fucking liquor. The job of liquor is to get me drunk. I'm not spending no fucking money on that type of shit, no big ass money. Like when I say that this bottle of Merlot had to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's what I'm saying. Like this woman had a brooch and a motherfucking hairpin that I know for a fact was solid gold, and the jewels in it had to be real. They were emeralds, and I could tell that it was real. That bitch, that house she lived in, she's driving. You know that you got some old money when you're driving in a Jaguar. Who the fuck drives those? Nobody drives those. Okay? You have old ass money if you're driving in a Jaguar. Nobody likes those cars. So yes, I mean the house even smelled like an old bitch with money. Like it smelled like potpourri and chantilly in that motherfucker. It even smelled like a motherfucker with money. I don't know. She was so pale and shit. You could see through her skin, like you could see every vein, every artery. Like I thought I saw that bitch's heart. She was so fucking pale. Right? I'm just being honest. She was very sweet. Now, getting back to the wine. I drank the entire glass of wine out of respect because it was very expensive and she offered it to me. I am never going to disrespect someone's hospitality. I am from the South. Do you understand? I am never going to disrespect someone's hospitality by not at least finishing to her liking what she gave me. I'm never going to be rude like that. Then she gave me another glass, and I was like, oh shit. When I say this shit, it radiated through my body. It warmed my body up. All of my electrical pulses in my body was aflamed. I don't know what the fuck she gave me, y'all, but I was scared for a whole week afterwards. Listen, as a medical professional, I know what blood smells like and tastes like. Anyone on this planet should know what blood tastes like, especially your own. You didn't bit your lip and it started bleeding. You've had an issue with your teeth and your mouth is bleeding. You've been in a fight or something and your mouth is bleeding. You've done something to where you've had to put your finger in your mouth or your mouth was bleeding, where you've tasted blood, had a nosebleed or some shit. You tasted blood. When I tell y'all, I promise you, there was some biological product in that shit. There was there was some DNA in that motherfucking shit. I don't know, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I absolutely let me guide you guys to my favorite song right now. Please go watch Lucky Day's video for That's You. That is my favorite song in the whole wide world right now. Go watch the video for Lucky Day, That's You. Now, Lucky Day, that nigga from the NO. You feel me? So, yeah, I related to that video so very fucking much. Um, especially, with my family and shit. But anyway, watch that video, y'all. I feel like what the fuck that bitch was trying to do was that type of shit. I feel like she was trying to suck my life force up out of me. She saw that I was a cute ass young bitch. You know what I'm saying? Big ass titties, nice pretty hair. She was like, ooh, it's a little young feeling right here. Just snatch her soul right the fuck from out of her. I didn't stay long enough for that to happen, but I'm telling you, like, what was going on with me just from the 2 drinks. And I was intoxicated off of those 2 drinks. And something was going on within my persons that I couldn't understand. It just, listen, I back then I was taking motherfucking 151 to the face, okay, from the bottle. So like I said, you don't get no hotter than that. Just shit just burns, just going down, just fucking up your whole fucking esophagus. Okay? You don't get more crazier than that. So yeah, there was some weird shit. Yes, girl. Yes, 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 yes. Before the movie even came out, girl, I was about to be in the sunken place. She was about to have me in the sunken place. But listen, I learned within that little hour or whatever that was, I learned so much in that moment. When I tell you, I was calling myself lady. I was calling myself lady, countess, contessa, all that shit. For the longest, we had this joke where I was like, I'm just waiting on the day for me to turn into a vampire. So I thought I was about to turn into something. And then it got real scary when I stopped playing the shit. And I started thinking about, I think I was watching Underworld at this time. And I started thinking about, them fucking lichens and shit. And I was like, oh my God, I keep thinking I'm going to turn into something beautiful. What if I turn into a fucking lichen? And then I really freaked the fuck out. And like the next day after this freak out, I was straight. I didn't think about it anymore. But I really freaked the fuck out when I started talking about the time machine. So there's a movie that scared me, y'all. Other than Nightmare on Elm Street. I've always been scared of Freddy Krueger. But anyway, there was a movie that scared me called The Time Machine. And if you haven't seen the movie basically is about a guy who invents a time machine. He's like a scholar. I don't think he's a scientist. I think he's just uh, a scholar or whatever. But he invents a time machine and he uses it and he goes forward, back. What ends up happening is that spoiler, you guys, but his fiance, well, she wasn't his fiance yet. He was going to propose to her, and someone robbed him of the ring and killed her. He shot her when they were in the park. And basically, he stopped at nothing to try to build this time machine so that he can go back in time and save her. And every time he went back into time, there's another movie just like this. This is the original, though, okay? This is what that movie copied off of. But every time when he went back into time to save her, she ended up dying anyway. He hadn't learned at that point that nothing was going to change that. The way everything had went in his life had to happen the way that it went, and no little small changes that he was going to make. He was never going to be able to go back and save her, which is also kind of a premise for like the Final Destination movies. Like, no matter what you do, like, death is going to get your ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happened. He would stop the guy who robbed him from robbing him, meaning he wouldn't shoot her. But then, like, after all that was done, he gave her the ring. They were engaged. They would get back home, and like she would go into the kitchen, and next thing you know, like a bunch of knives fell on her or something. The bitch would be dead or whatever in the kitchen. So no matter what he did, he would save her from the fate that really happened to her, but she would always die from something else. So he just went mad. He went mad, and he ended up being so mad and I don't mean like mad, like angry. I mean mad as senile. And he ended up making a mistake, and he went really, really far into the future. And in the future, the moon fell out of the sky. Like there was different parts that he went. He went to the first part of the future, like while the moon was actually falling out of the sky and things were changing. And then he went to another part, like about maybe 10 or 20 years further. And then the moon had completely fell and everything was just chaotic. And then he went super far into the future, way after all of that, where basically some people lived above ground, like in the mountains. And then there were people who transformed into these type of animals, these type of werewolf looking dirt monsters. And they lived underneath the ground. And the person who basically was over all of them, it he looked like that shit from the underworld. He looked like what's that damn movie? I think it's called Daywalkers. When they had this little virus that the vampires had, and it was turning them into other things with wings and shit like that. Like whatever. I'm talking about a whole bunch of movies you probably don't even know what the fuck it is. But yeah, it was some fucking like dirt monsters that was coming up out the fucking dirt. That scared me so much. I was scared to just walk for like a hot ass minute after that movie. I was scared I was scared to walk on dirt. I was scared that something was gonna fucking come out the dirt. Some little animal, some monster was gonna pop out the dirt. That shit scared the hell out of me, okay? But yeah, that movie. So I started thinking I was gonna turn into one of those things, one of those little dirt monsters, just go into the ground and just pop the fuck out the ground and shit. When I want to eat people, like in the future, there were no older people. There were just teenagers and small children because all the older people went down to the ground and basically got, you know, ate the fuck up. I promise you, you guys have to watch that movie, okay? You guys have to watch Time Machine. It was my favorite for such a long time. Such a long time. I'm still upset about the movie that they had for The Giver. I absolutely loved that book when I was in middle school. We read that book, and I just knew one day they would make it into a movie, and I didn't like what they did to it. Shout out to Harrison Ford, but I didn't like what they did to the movie. The book was just so good, and I normally don't like the book version over the movie version anyway, but definitely for that book, yes. I have been considering doing a book club. Just throw that out there real quick. But yeah, about a week had passed and I started to feel better. I thought I was going to turn into a bunch of shit, man, just off of the stuff that I had drunk. But I loved her swag, though. I loved her swag. Okay, she had that long ass slip on. I thought it was a dress, but when I went to her house, I noticed it was a slip. I was like, why is she outside in this slip? But it was so gorgeous. It looked like a gown, but it was a goddamn slip. It was something that a old bitch would wear to sleep. I used to wear slips and shit when I was like younger. That's some down south shit. Um, that's some down south shit. Okay, I'm wearing a skirt or a dress, and my mom tells me to put on my slip. The fuck? Do you remember that, Megan? Our mothers and our grandmothers telling us to put on our slip. Boy, that's crazy. Every dress, you have to put on that slip. And then my grandmother showed me that they had skirt slips. So when you would wear, the skirt had to be like to your knees or longer, and you put on that little slip, and then you put the skirt on. Like too many fucking clothes, too many clothes. Okay. Now I tell my daughters put on these little biker shorts, and then you can put on your skirt. Fuck a slip. What is a slip for? If you fall or anything, it's still gonna show your panties. So what was the slip for? I'm so old, y'all. I'm so old. Since I would have got the hell up out of there. See, I couldn't be rude. I couldn't be rude. I could not. Like, I was a representation at that point of my husband. So I couldn't be rude. I had to accept her invitation and I had to be cordial. You know what I'm saying? I had to I had to be respectful because she was being hospitable. So I mean it sometimes it be like that. That's why people get fucking murked. I'm just saying. That's why people get their TV turned off, okay? Because they being super nice and they not being real. In that moment, I felt like that was a moment where I needed to be super nice instead of being like, hell no, bitch, I don't want to go to your house. Like in that moment, she obviously was going through something. That's why she was getting drunk, hopping in the car, driving. Something was going on with her. And I'm pretty sure she had a husband. And, being in that house and being lonely, she was going through some things. And other people in the neighborhood, said that her kids were all grown. They only seen one child ever, like one grown ass person come to visit her, and they thought that it was her daughter. And that person doesn't even live out here. So, like, I get it. I completely understood. What I didn't expect was for me, not too long after that, for me to lose my own father. So yeah, I understood. Um, yeah, I got it. I got it. I had to be nice in that moment. I had to kind of understand what was happening with her. But yeah, I don't. Maybe on a chemical level, it changed me somehow. Maybe it changed my DNA somehow. Shit, I don't know. Like I said, I was made on the seventh day, so maybe that's what actually happened. I got fucked all up. My molecules and shit got fucked up that day. Like I don't. If she's still living, girl, that woman is probably long gone. She had to be like in her late 70s at that time. And girl, that was like 20, that was like '07. That was like '06, '07, something like that. Girl, she is hella gone. I mean, unless she a miracle, she could be a miracle. That was what? Oh Lord. Damn near shit, we approach it. If it was 2006, that shit was almost 20 years ago. And if she was in her late 70s, that bitch would be like 100 and like 10 and shit right now. I don't know, she may still be alive, girl. Just not living in that house. She probably living underneath that house. She done went to the basement. She done went to the basement. She done turned into one of them bat things, got bat wings and some other shit. She a liking girl. She a people under the stairs girl. Oh my God, she done turned into it. She, let me get my ass off this motherfucker. She done turned into something fucking monstrous, girl. Scary as well. Oh, why? See, this shit is gonna be in my head all day. Thank you, sister. I'm going to envision this woman's melty skin. Oh, this is fucked up. This is turning to like some true blood shit. She's probably be transformed into a witch. Yes, but not one of them sexy witches. She like the Wicked Witch of the West. I swear. She not Glenda. Okay? She done turned into the other motherfucker. She that damn witch. I'll get you, my pretty. Oh, I can just see it right now. You're oh my God. The true, the true version of Wicked. Girl, I'm going to have nightmares. Thank you, sister. I'm going to have nightmares about this shit tonight. Watch. This woman is going to come to me, girl. We just summoned this motherfucker. We just summoned her. Oh my God. I wish I could remember her name. I wish I could remember her name, but I know in the beginning of her name it was Lady. Because I went on a kick where I was calling myself Lady. So I know it was that, but that shit she gave me, it was inviting. Like I wouldn't of course I would have never drunk the entire bottle because, you know, I got intoxicated off of two drinks, but one thing I will say too about how dangerous that situation really was, that wasn't like it wasn't a new bottle. Like when I tell this story, I always have to remember that part. It wasn't a new bottle. It was opened. Like she had already had a drink out that motherfucker. And you gotta be so careful when you're like going to somebody's house and they're inviting you to drinks. Like you need to open that shit up in front of me. Cause I don't know what you put in it. Like she could have had her way with me. Like I just now that this has happened so long ago, like girl, yes, I could have been on Unsolved Mysteries. I could have been I could have been a headline. I could have been a headline. Oh my God. Young woman goes to another rich woman's house, and she's never heard from again. The lady is all like, she left. As soon as we had drinks, she walked right out and she was walking towards the front of the community. She just vanished. Oh my God. That is scary. Now that I'm thinking about it, oh my God, I could have been a straight up a case. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Fucking ID Discovery. Like CSI case. Well, I'm so happy that it not happened to me because, like, see, now I can't even laugh anymore because I saw this. You know, I don't like the true crime shit. Um, and I saw this case where an 18-year-old went missing. Um, him and his mom, they were on vacation. I guess he went to go see his dad's side of the family or something. What's that boy's name? Giovanni something. And I was like, okay, I seen it, so I read a little bit more about it, and then I found out that they he texted his mom. He said, "Mom, help me," and that just broke my heart, girl. I cried and everything, and then I found out that they found a body, and the mother said it was him. It was his body, and I just couldn't imagine like if my child texted me and was begging for my help and then I couldn't find them for a week. They were missing, and then like they found my child in some fucking pond. Like, girl, that shit just upset me. I don't like. You seen that too, girl? I don't like shit like that. I just that shit fucks up my whole day. It puts me in a really bad mood and shit. Like, if I sit around and I watch stuff like that, I ain't gonna lie, I'll probably become a real bad person. Like, I got vigilante in my blood, bro. Like, I don't want to become one of those people that put on some motherfucking tights, you know, be on some like I want to be a superhero type of shit and just start fucking up people. Like I'm one of those people. I don't like seeing shit like that. Just I'm on my business, but at the same time, like, yeah, yep. See, sis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Girl, that shit, I was like, let me start reading because I don't like that. Like, I started thinking about my children And I started thinking of how crazy, insane I would be if that was my baby. Like, the type of shit that his mom is going through right now, where her head is. Like, I ain't scared of jail, bruh. Like, I'm one of those parents where I feel like if you touch my child, I'm you out of here. Like, ain't no police finna stop, not a fuck thing. I'm finna do. Like, this is why I don't watch A Time to Kill. You know what I'm saying? No more. I've watched that movie about twice, and that's all I could do. I can't watch it because I get ideas and shit. That's the type of shit my ass will be on. You touching my babies and shit. I'm meeting you at the courthouse with the Glock, nigga. Like, I can't imagine myself without my children. Like, I got grown ass kids and I still can't imagine my life without them. I just seen I just seen my older boys a few days ago, and you know what I'm saying? My second oldest, he getting ribs. I'm like, boy, slow down, nigga. Who you think you are? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Girl, that picture I showed you of my son on his birthday, on his 21st birthday, girl, he is 3 times that size now, girl. Okay, his birthday was just in April. He is 3 times that size. That boy is so big. I said, oh my God. My son got him a little girlfriend. He out here, you know what I'm saying, getting him some little booty, and he just done lost his motherfucking mind. I was like, slow down. Because all my brothers is on that shit, okay? They are gym freaks. My youngest brother, that's the gym freak right there. He go to the gym like twice a day. This motherfucker be at work, heavy duty. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he don't even drive trucks no more. He heavy duty picking up shit and moving motherfucking shit like he's a whole like a heavy machinery himself, like his body and shit. That's the MMA fighter. So he's all about fitness and shit. And of course, I got a brother that's in the military, so he's all about fitness as well. Um, my oldest brother though, he kind of getting lax on his shit. He getting a dad bod a little bit. He needs to slow down. Um, but my son is bigger than my brother that's the MMA fighter. I'm like, hold on, you getting too big. Like, chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. I want to, like, what? What are you doing? Chill out. Like, I kid you not. That's how it was. That's how I was a few days ago. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. What are you doing? What are you taking? Stop. Whatever it is, stop. Stop with that protein powder. Stop with all of that shit. Like, you're getting too big. You're getting way too fucking big, nigga. Your shoulders is hella squared and shit. You too big. All three of my babies are girl. I can't imagine my child or two being without them. Girl, yes. This is a living death when you lose a child. I know. I know. It's nothing like, having a miscarriage. You know what I'm saying? It's you have a whole life with this child. You provided for by you. I couldn't imagine not being able to call my sons and talk to them or see them ever again. Yeah, I go crazy. That should have made me sick. I'd be in somebody's padding room. I ain't lying. So when I see stories like that, I can't put myself together. When I see shit like that, I was in here literally crying. Just, and that's another thing that's up with me with my anxiety and shit. Like, I in my mind, I put myself in that position, and I'm just like, oh my God, the shit I would do, like, I would be such a problem. Like, I would be gone. I wouldn't be here anymore. I would do something to take me away from here as well. Like, just I need all parts of me. God saw fit to break me up into 6 pieces, a piece for every child. And then the piece that's left that makes me me. I couldn't imagine losing not a single fucking shard, not a single piece. I'm telling you, I go to war behind mine. I'm going straight to motherfucking Indian Springs behind mine. I'm being so fucking serious with you. I was about to motherfucking do some straight up time when that happened to my son, and I went up there. I went up there to that school with yeah. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. I don't care what happened to this video, but I went up there with murder on my mind, nigga. That motherfucking school nurse was about to be outro. I was not playing. I chased that motherfucker all over that office. I chased that motherfucker all over that office. They did a good job of keeping me away from that motherfucker. Cause that motherfucker was good as gone. I wasn't even shocked when I seen the police knocking on my door, handing me that thick ass paper. I was like, "What's this?" He was like, "Read it." I said, "This motherfucker said I can't come to no Clark County school." This motherfucker said, "Bitch, you can't come to no school out here. If we catch you at the school, bitch, you will be arrested on site." That is another reason why my children don't. It's a small reason. It's not the whole reason. It's a small reason why my children. They was not playing, okay? They was not playing. The motherfuckers had that fucking deputy sheriff deliver that shit to my house. Like, here you go. Don't take your ass up there no more now. Don't you go up there no motherfucking mouth. I was too pissed. I was like, I can't go get my child from school. Hell nah, bitch, you can't. But like I said, I love me some good teachers. I love me some good faculty that work for the school district. You know, I love the woman in the office, the secretary in the office, because she was like, if you call me before, then you can come up here to get him. If you call me before, I said okay. It just I just yeah, it's time. It's time for a change to happen. And that was the person that pointed me in the right direction to get the information that I eventually got to where my son started going to school online, and how I ended up becoming an educator from home as well. So kudos to her, because she saw that bull. She saw that dog in me when I was about to go up there and I was about to kill that motherfucker up there. She saw that shit. She was like, "Oh no, let me help her," because she came just no, like I'm laughing, but like on a serious note though, like if I really would have brought my fucking weapon up there, then I would be in prison right now. I'm just being honest about it. I'm just going to be honest. It's a good thing that I have a village, because my village stopped a lot of shit from happening. Because I'm not going to lie. I think if Kevin wasn't there, I probably would have grabbed my gun. I probably would have went up there and committed a. Let me shut the fuck up, because I shouldn't be saying none of this fucking shit. This is actually like bad. So I'm going to cut this part out of the fucking live. But I'm just saying, I'm not lying. That most deaf. When it comes to my kids, don't fucking play around with them. Don't play with them. That's what my aunt said when she lost her closest daughter in 1970 in an automobile accident. She went crazy as a Betsy bug, knowing she would never see her again. I mean, how can you not? How can you not go crazy? Just you will never touch that person. You will never hear that person laugh or see the phone ring, and that person, whatever's going on, whether they're happy, they sad, they crying, like, yeah, it's time for me to end this. Like, I just, you know, true story. When my father passed away, I was minding my business. I had a dream that night that my dad came to me. He was talking to me about some weird ass shit. I don't even remember. And I woke up the next day. My mom called me and she was like, "I don't know what your dad is talking about right now. Can you come like right now? I have to go to work." And my mom was like, by the time I got there, my mom was already dressed. She was on her way out the door. And I was talking to her and she was like, I asked him, like, "What do you want me to do?" He woke up, he was kind of out of it, and he had to use the bathroom. Instead of him going to the bathroom, he went in a closet and peed. And my mom was like, he kind of like loopy, he out of it. And my mom was like, I started asking him questions to see if he was coherent. She asked him, what did he want her to do? Like what do you want? And my father's response was, to be successful. That's what he told my mom. So that showed that he didn't understand what she was asking. But the funny thing is that my mom left, and she said I called his brothers too, so they on their way. And I talked to my dad. He was coherent. He was coherent with me. Everything that I asked him, he answered. And his brothers came, and I don't know what happened. So I started talking to my dad again. He's laying on the couch in the living room. He slept there a lot, and he just started responding. My brother called the ambulance, and they took his vitals. And when they told me that his blood pressure was 60 over 50, I was like, oh my God. They put my dad in the back of the ambulance, and that was it. That conversation I had with my father was the last conversation I ever had with him, because I'm not stupid. I know that my dad died on that couch. When they took him to the hospital, he was already gone. He was in there for a few days, and then they decided it was time to pull the plug on him. And that night, when we got home, when I got to my mom's house, I slept in the living room on the love seat. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, my mom's doorbell went off. And my mom opened the door and wasn't nobody there. Nobody was there. That night, I had multiple panic attacks back to back. I just, it wouldn't stop. So my mom had to deal with my father being deceased, and then she had to deal with what I was going through. And my mom was just like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" She's just yelling and screaming at me, not even understanding what the fuck was happening with me. I was going through shit because I feel like my mom shouldn't have done. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk bad about my mother, but I feel like she shouldn't have done that to me. You shouldn't have had me come over there when you knew what was going on. You shouldn't have done that to me. I was already going through shit. I was going through shit. I miss my husband. I was going through shit. You shouldn't have bothered me. You know what I'm saying? I was dealing with the most serious end of my panic disorder that I was going through, and I just didn't need that at that time. Then my best friend, his his friend, I'm gonna say friend, his friend had just passed away days before my father, 3 rooms down from where my father was. I had just left the hospital. I had just left the hospital. So like, it was a lot of shit on me. It was heavyweight on me, bruh. And she just, instead of my mama handling that shit, that's your husband. Instead of her handling that shit, she called me. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And I came over there and I had to see that fucking shit. I had to live through that shit. And then all that weird shit happened. My mom went to go talk to her friend from the Philippines because it was weird ass occurrences that was happening. Just like when my grandfather died, it was weird ass shit that was happening. Like, that shit, I don't know, shit just be weird as fuck. And my mom's friend gave her these talisman and all of this shit to protect the house. My mom's friend said that 3 a.m. is like the devil's hour or the witching hour or some shit like that. So it's no surprise that he would try to contact us at that time. I was right there in the living room. So I, as clear as day, we all heard the doorbell going off. And when my mama opened up the door, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. But then I thought that it was kind of weird how I started having panic attacks back to back to back to back to back. One was worse after the other. And my mom's friend said that my mom let him in. He was there. She just couldn't see him, but she let him in. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. This is part of the reason why I don't fuck around when it comes to these true crime stories. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I want to put emphasis on life and not death. I don't have time for all of that motherfucking shit, you know? Brad Paisley song came on when I get to where I'm going. I told my oldest, I know my mama was dying. Girl, that's what I'm saying. We are always giving signs. We are. Some of us don't pay attention to them, but then there's some of us that do. And I think these stories that we have is us being so in tune with that part of us that we paid attention to the signs that we got. We did. Yep. That's why I can't handle that shit. I can't see myself just sitting here all day watching motherfucking ID Discovery. Like, I can't do it. When I went to go get my goddamn blood work, I was so pissed off because, in a lot of medical offices, they tend to have on what is called cold case files and Dateline and shit like that. They tend to have that on the TV. I'd be like, can you change this, please? Like, how somber is that? For you to go to a clinic, a medical office, a hospital, and they're showing death right on the TV. How fucking stupid is that? In my motherfucking office, that is not happening. We showing some stories. Okay, it's gonna be some soap operas on if it's early in the day. If it's later, we watching some shit like The Price is Right or Whose Line Is It Anyway or like we're not watching no cold case files. We're not watching Snapped. We're not watching any of that. That is just oh my God. I was so irritated. I was like, why do they have Dateline on in here? And I sat there like an idiot and watched all three stories. I sat there and watched all three stories. And guess what? Two of those stories involved Las Vegas. I said, let me get the fuck out of here. I was already pissed off because something happened and my shit had to be pushed back. So I got there at 8 and my motherfucking ass was still there until 11. I was pissed. I was fucking mad. Like, I was so mad. Then I had to go back to work. I was fucking mad. Like, ugh. Oh my God. Nobody has time to be fondled in between shifts. It's just crazy as hell. Just stick me everywhere. And then I gotta fucking go back and stick other people. Like, after watching Dateline. Man. And all of those fucking cases, they ended up being cold cases. And then, like, one of them never was solved. The other two, the ones that had to do with Vegas, they got solved. But I was like, dude, what the fuck's up? What's going on? What the hell is this shit? Because I was so lost because my mama was my whole complete world. I miss my mom. They say it gets better with time, but sometimes I don't believe it does, sissy, at all. When it's that close, the comprehension gets better. Like, there'll never be an answer as to why, but you know that it has to be. It has to be. That is what life is about. So many people wonder what's the meaning of life, because they're not in tune with themselves. The meaning of your life is whatever the fuck you make it. Whatever you're trying to get done while you're here, that's the meaning of your life. Once you understand, you can comprehend that we can't be here forever. We don't, whether you believe in different planes or, different statuses of existence, it doesn't matter. You know that at some point this is going to come to an end. That's what gets better, the realization. But the loss, that never gets better. That loss is always there. It'll be there until you're no longer here. There's always going to be that hole. Nothing can fill it. Nothing can fill the hole of your mother. You can't get another mama. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing can fill the hole of anybody that was in your life that you loved dearly, that imprinted on you. You can never replace that. So that's always there. But the understanding does get better. No one will understand till they go through what we have losing a parent. Facts. And that's as far as I want to go. That's as far as I can go. I can't lose any of my offspring before myself. I don't ever want to go there. I don't ever want to feel that. My mama, she get on my nerves so goddamn much. She do. But I love her, and yeah. I just, in the back of my mind, I prepare myself. Just a little bit. You can't prepare yourself fully, but just a small little bit. Um, our world, my children, my husband, and myself, our world is going to forever change when that happens, because my mother is so deeply connected to so many people, including my children, especially my two oldest children. She is so deeply rooted in them. Um, yeah, that's gonna be a lot. I just prepare myself, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? Life is a fucked up place. It's a cookie carousel, and I mean, I may never have to experience that shit. Something might happen to me. Shit, not on wood, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? It's it's this fucked up thing we call life. I lost my dad very young. It didn't hurt me as bad as losing my mom. Yeah, it does hit differently. I learned that from my mother. When when my grandfather died, oh, she was fucked up. You know, my mom never recovered from that. She never recovered. She was a daddy's girl. She never recovered from that. When my grandmother died, it was bad, but it wasn't like that. Those were two different experiences. Like, I feel like when my grandfather died, a piece of my mom just left. You know what I mean? She just became more annoying and shit. Just more bitchy. She became like extremely bitchy. Like, sometimes you can't even say nothing to her. Just, I'm trying to like make light of this because I don't want to go too dark, but like, you can't even say nothing to her. Like, you'll be like, "Mom, it's on the left," and she'll be like, "It's not. It's on the right." I'm looking at the map. It clearly says it's on the left. Here go my mama. Give me that goddamn map. You think you know everything? I'm trying to tell you what I know. You're not older than me. I'm the mama. She be wrong as a motherfucker now. And she be just yelling and screaming and shit. I be like, here, take the map. And when she look on the map, she be like, she see that it's the right? This is my mother. See? When I was looking at it, it was upside down, which it was the left. If we was coming up from a 90-degree angle, it would be the left, instead of her just saying, whatever, my bad. She don't do that. She'll make an excuse. And if it's real bad to where she knows she dead ass wrong and I'm right, this is her. I don't give a fuck no more. And then throw throw the motherfucking map. I don't give a fuck no more. Throw the motherfucking map and just keep on driving. She not gonna apologize or nothing. She not gonna apologize. But I'll be in the back laughing at her ass, snickering. Then she'll be like, "What you laughing at?" I'm laughing at you. You got all that egg on your face right now, and you ain't even gonna apologize to me. And then the next thing she'll say is, "Apologize for what? I wasn't wrong. Technically, we both was wrong." That's her. That is my mother. Am I lying? That is my mother. Do anything and everything not to say she's sorry. She got to be right. Ooh, and don't play no Monopoly with her. Don't play no motherfucking Phase 10 with her. Don't play no board game with her. Okay? Don't do it. She gonna get too mad. I didn't talk to my mama for months, all because we was playing a card game. It's something wrong with her. But I love my mother though. I can't see life without her though. But she crazy as hell. My dad was never there. It was always my mom. Only she raised us. Well, shit. My mom and my dad there, and it was only my mama. Only she raised me. Okay? Only she raised me. Okay? That motherfucker was right there. I remember one time, and then no, I'm getting off of this shit. I remember one time my mom and my dad had got into an argument, and my dad came all the way. He walked. This motherfucker got a car, okay? And he was so intoxicated. He walked from my mother's house all the way. Like my mom's house is like northwest, and I was living in the southeast. And he walked all the way to my motherfucking house. And I opened up the door and I was like, what the fuck is you doing here? And my dad was like, your mama, she just doing too much. So I came over here. I was like, you came over here to do what? You came over to my house to do what? He was like, to be here. I said, for when? To be here for the next 2 minutes? Because I know you ain't walk all the way over here thinking you was finna stay in my house, my nigga. What you could do is you could motherfucking turn your ass the fuck back around and go get you a motherfucking room. He was so serious, girl. He was so serious. Walked all the way. I was like, where is your car? I couldn't get in it. I was drinking. I walked over here. I said, you walked? You ain't get on the bus? He said, no. He said he walked. And it just so happens that my aunt, she lives in the same neighborhood as me. And they were outside having a little get together. They were drinking, they were barbecuing. So he took his ass over there. I walked over there because she literally stayed across the street, like up the street and across. So I went over there and I was like, what is you over here doing? He was like, nothing. I'm having a drink, chill. And I was like, Daddy, you know you need to go back home, right? He was like, and I will. I'm just not going back right now. So I called my mother and I was like, Mama, Daddy came over here. And she was like, over where? I was like, to my house. She was like, what the hell he doing over there? I was like, I don't fucking know. But he tripping. She was like, yeah, we had an argument. I was like, but where's his car? She was like, it's in the driveway. I said, Mama, you let him walk all the way over here? She was like, I didn't know where the fuck he was going. I was like, the way that I'm telling you how we were talking, this is like, well, hold on, let me stop lying. The way that I'm speaking as my mother, that's how she was talking. I don't cuss around my mama. I'm too scared to. So I was like, Mama, like, you let him come all the way over here? Like, and she was like, I didn't fucking know he was coming over there. I was like, okay, so like, are you gonna come and get him? She was like, hell no. Hell no, I ain't coming to get him. She was like, if he wanna come back here, he gonna have to walk all the way back here. I said, Mama. She was like, you bring him. I said, hell no. Hell no, I ain't bring him. My dad stayed at my aunt's house that whole, like, he was out there until like 2 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, Daddy, like, go home. He was tripping. He like, I don't know. He was tripping, but one thing that was for certain, he wasn't coming to my house. No. He was not coming in my motherfucking house. I was like, Daddy, go home. Okay? I'll take you home. I'll take you home. Because right now, at this point, I'm sick of you. I'm fucking sick of you. And my mom was dead ass serious. She really was not coming to get him either. She would have just let him get snatched out there. Wasn't nobody gonna snatch his big ass. Oh man, good times, good times. But yeah, he wasn't coming in my motherfucking house. Like, get your ass on. Go up the street. You drinking too? It'll be 5 minutes before we start arguing with each other. That's why you ain't coming in here. Cause I already know. Hell no. You gotta remember, like, that drinking, it really was an issue with my father. Like, if you could remember, you know I stabbed my dad. So like, yeah. When he was like that, I'll be like, get the fuck away from me. Cause I know my temper. I got your temper, and you're gonna say some shit, and it's gonna be on. And get your ass the fuck away from me. Get away from me. Okay? I ain't got time for it. Cause you pissed me off to the highest level of like festivity, and then I don't. No, you can't parent like that. That's what, like, I asked my daddy for anything and boom, I got it. That's for sure. But when he was drinking, it's just, yeah, it was different. And I don't play about my kids. You know, I told you that happened because he picked my son up out of his playpen, and he picked him up by his arm. And I told him, put my son down, or at least pick him up with both of your hands. He had him up with one of his he had hold of one of his arms, and he was flailing my baby. My baby was just a few months old. He was flailing my baby. I said, oh, you want to play with my motherfucking son, don't you? I took that motherfucking butcher knife and put that shit in his stomach. I was not playing with his ass. I was trying to kill him. Yeah, don't touch my motherfucking child. Don't touch my motherfucking child. I went to jail and everything, girl. I was like, yeah, you better pray you make it, nigga. Like, I was so serious. You better pray you make it, nigga. May my father rest in peace. Oh, good times. Good times. No, but on the real though, my father was very lucky that he had cirrhosis of the liver bad enough. That's what really saved us. That's what saved him. No, for real though. Not laughing. That's what saved him. Yeah, I was so very serious. Very serious. And then, he finally admitted that he did that shit. Yes. Yes. This is a true story, girl. I'm not lying about this shit. I was a teenager when this happened. If I was grown, I probably would still be in jail. But no, I was a teenager when this happened. I wasn't playing with him. I was not playing with him. He was about to dislocate my child's arm. My baby didn't know no better. My baby was months. He didn't even know how to walk. My baby learned how to walk while I was in jail. And I was pissed off about that shit, girl. Yeah, I was trying to turn that motherfucking TV off that night. I wasn't playing with his fucking ass. You touch my fucking child, hell yeah, you gotta go. What the fuck wrong with you? I don't know who you thought. I don't give a damn if you had me. I don't care. You're touching my offspring. This is my baby, girl. Yes, I took that motherfucking knife and I plunged that shit in his stomach. I was not playing, girl. I was so dead ass. Don't you ever touch my motherfucking child. Ever. But like I said, all of this stuff made me a better person. I grew, I learned. I learned how to keep myself away from certain situations. That's why when he walked all the way to my motherfucking house, I was like, where do you think you go? You think you finna come up in my motherfucking house? No, sir. You been drinking? No, sir. If you were sober, then you could come in here. But your motherfucking ass been drinking. I don't think so, homie. You need to get a hotel room. I'll help you get a hotel room. I'll pay for your whole. If you need me to pay, I mean, there's no reason for me to pay for his hotel room. But if you need for me to pay for your hotel room, I will. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't coming up in my motherfucking house. Hell no. So you can argue with me and shit because you fucking drunk, and then guess what? I finished the job. I finished the job. Get your motherfucking ass the fuck away from me. But I promise you though, you couldn't do a damn thing to you couldn't do nothing. Not to my daddy. I go ape shit on your fucking ass. Ape shit. But like I said, it was the liquor. It just, I don't know, it turned him into a different person. Into a person I didn't like. Also, see, I don't blame you. I would probably would say, hell yeah, to save your child. Hell yeah. See, there's a part I'm not even putting in it. It's a part when I tried to get my child from him without harming my dad. I tried to get my child from out of his grasp, and he threw a cup at my head. He threw a cup in my head. Girl, I still got the scar to this day. He threw a cup in my head. It bust my head all the way open, girl. I was bleeding out the side of my head. So I had all type of blood coming in my eye and all up in my face. Girl, hell yeah, I saw red at that fucking point. That nigga had to go. He had to go. He had to go. Most definitely, he assaulted me first, but girl, I still went to jail. I don't know what happened. I went to jail for that shit. My dad decided not to press charges, and he asked the judge for leniency and all this other bullshit. And as soon as when they let me out, I got up in the car and I was like, bitch ass nigga, I still don't fuck with you. Like, that's what I said when I got in the car. I was like, bitch ass nigga, I still don't fuck with you. He was like, that's okay. With time, we can heal from it. I was like, fuck you. That's how I felt. And that's exactly what the fuck I said. My mama stayed quiet that whole time. She didn't say not a motherfucking thing. She didn't say nothing. She came and visited me though. And they said I had a visitor. And I said, who is it? And they said my mama's name. And I was like, tell her to go home. And I was like, let me back in. And I went right back in my fucking cell. I said, tell her to go home. My mama came to visit me for 2 weeks and I refused to see her. I wouldn't see her at all. Nope. Liquor does change you for real, because it did my father. Yes, girl, it does. That's what I be trying to tell my own husband. Like, sometimes when you drinking, I have flashbacks of the time when I stabbed my kid. Let me shut the fuck up. I've been on this motherfucker for almost 3 hours. Let me get off here. I'm saying crazy ass shit on here now. Um, I'm supposed to be on some peace loving nigga shit over here. He's staring at me right now. Oh, ugh, get off me. Remember that when your ass hungry. You're gonna remember that when I'm hungry? Oh, you're gonna feed me regardless. You're gonna feed me. I want something good. He said something fucked up about me like a few weeks ago. He was like, when talking about something like me being on bullshit when I say I want something good. I don't even remember saying that shit. But now every time when I want to get on this nigga's nerves, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say I want something good. Just so I can piss him off. No, you don't. Mm-mm. No, sir. How long did I stay in jail? I was in jail for 3 weeks. I was in jail for 3 weeks. The first week, my mom came and saw me. I was in there. I want to say I was in there for about 2 days, and my mom came and saw me, and I fucking told her to go. I told them to tell her to go back home. And then the second time my mom came and saw me, it was that next week. It was at the beginning of the next week, and I fucking told them to. Was there a way that I could suspend all visits from her, just from her? And they told me I would have to fill out some type of paperwork or whatever to stop her from coming. But they said that it probably wasn't going to work because I was a minor and that was my mother. So she had legal rights to come. I said, I'm going to talk to her. And That second time, they made me go into the room with her to meet with her, and I just sat there and was quiet as a motherfucker. I didn't say shit to her. And then she left, and then I was in there for another week, and my dad went to court, and he did what he normally did. He put on an entire spectacle, was in there crying and throwing himself on the ground and all that other motherfucking shit. And then they released me. So, like, I wasn't mad because, like I said, at that point in my life, I was old enough to understand that my dad was a drunk. And when he was heavily intoxicated, he did shit that he would not do when he wasn't drunk. My dad was awesome when he was sober. So, like, I wasn't mad at him, but because I got a piece of him and a piece of my mother, it, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep it real, or else. My dad is one of those people where he taught us to always be real. If you not being real, then you losing the whole point of yourself. Like, you're no good to nobody if you can't 100% be real. So of course, when I got in the car, I was like, nigga, shit ain't sweet. Just remember that fucking shit. And my dad was like, understood. You just mad right now. You'll get over it. Like that type of shit. That's how my daddy wasn't no punk. For real though. Let's keep that. Let's be real with that. Everybody in the neighborhood was always scared of my dad. And it's good to be scared of a big, my daddy was a big ass man. Okay? Big ass motherfucking man. 6'2", damn near 6'3", like 300 motherfucking pounds. And I'm talking about not fat. A very solid ass man. I'll show you a picture, but a very solid ass, thick ass man. Um, my dad went and did his time in the service. And when my dad got out, he never had to work a day in his life. He still worked though, but he never had to because my father was so lawyered the fuck up. And one thing my dad knew how to do was he knew how to con a motherfucker. Oh yes, he knew how to do that shit. My father was getting 3 checks for the rest of his motherfucking life when he was over there. Um, I guess in Vietnam when he was over there, they um, they used to hide in the crops over there, and they used to spray the crops with this agent that it like it created birth defects in the children of the soldiers. It gave the soldiers issues and things like that. And so my dad got paid for the rest of his life because of that. And we also got paid for that, being children of a service member who was sprayed with that shit. If you're familiar with Vietnam, then you know what Agent Orange is. That's what it was. And he got a military check for the rest of his life. And something else happened to where my dad sued for his mental anguish or something like that. And he fucking got paid for the rest of his life off of that. My dad was getting 3 motherfucking checks. My dad was making bank, okay? And then, like, there was, my dad had a lot going on. So he had a lot of free time. He had a lot of free time. And, my dad was just cool as fuck, real friendly, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about my dad was he loved being around his people. And when I say his people, I'm not talking about black people, okay? His people was Hispanics. Okay? He'd be having this cerveza, speaking this Espanol with the motherfuckers over there chilling. They love him, okay? They love him. My dad never had to pay for any my dad didn't have to pay for car systems, tires, repairs on the car, none of that shit. Even though at that point everybody was driving luxury cars, And it's certain places here where they work on certain luxury cars, you know. He knew them motherfuckers too. That's why my dad got, you know, cars like a Saab and shit. Cars that other people wouldn't think of getting. You know what I'm saying? And he never had to pay for none of that shit because everybody just loved him so much. And people just was scared of him just because like things would happen with us, and he'll come outside and he walking outside and the whole like earth would shake and shit while he was walking with his big fat ass. The whole earth would shake and shit. And like it just he was just that type of nigga that had that presence until that day when my brother got into it with another little kid, and the dad was talking that shit, and my daddy was like, "Who the fuck is you talking to?" And the boy's daddy was like, "You, nigga." Now, the boy was a white boy. He was a ginger, a redhead. These motherfuckers look like, you know, on the Rugrats, Chucky and his daddy, that's what they look like. But that man, I don't know what the fuck he was smoking. He had to be on some meth or something. Because I don't know what made him talk to my daddy like that day. But yeah, he had lost it. He had lost all type of everything, all fucking decorum. Okay, he had lost everything. You know, it was a nice, you know, built man. I guess he thought he could whoop my daddy. Yeah. That was the first time that anybody ever saw my dad fight in the neighborhood. He almost killed that man. And if it wasn't for us as children having to lay our bodies on, we had to lay our bodies on top of that nigga because my daddy was finna go to prison. He was about to go to prison. That man was halfway up the stairway to heaven. We was like, stop, stop, daddy. Everybody in the neighborhood talked about that shit for months. They were scared as hell. It was literally, there were boys that used to chase me around, and you know how boys that like little girls touch on them, boy, them boys stopped doing that shit. They was mortified. They was so goddamn scared. They was like, the kids had to jump on top of the man just to stop they daddy because he was that nigga was a life support out there. We were like, stop, daddy, stop. Oh my God. Girl, this live was too damn much. It was way too much. Hi, Capybara. How are you? Forget you. I'm talking to Capybara. It is time for me to be a mother. How you just gonna stump out the Capybara? This is a travesty. Thank you guys for sharing these moments with me, for being here. You know, I love each and every one of you. Now it's time for me to go be a mother. They're beating up my little beautiful stuffed capybara right now. So it's time for me to put hands and feet on these children. She said, how dare you? It's time to put hands and feet on these kids. My daddy was nearly 7 feet tall. He would have played pro ball if he wasn't injured in a car accident. He would have played for the Alabama. Girl, please. Girl, no, he wouldn't have. He would have went to a righteous team. He would have went to a righteous team, you know, somewhere like the Tigers. You know I'm fucking with you. But yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. We understand having that big, broly ass man in our house. You know what I'm saying? And certain things just, you know, didn't get any play. I ended up having that with my father, and now I have that with my husband. You know, I feel good having to go outside and be like, "What you say to me?" oh, I got somebody for you, and then going in the house and going to get Kevin, and then when Kevin come outside, Kevin be like, "What you say, nigga?" I don't even try no more. Once he get in that realm, I've done that so much in my life, throwing my body on motherfuckers to try to keep them from motherfucking being 6 feet under. I'm so tired of doing it. Now, when that shit happen, I'll be like, okay, call me when you get there. And Kevin will be like, when I get where? And I'll be like, to CCDC. Call me when you get there. I'm not about to be out here being slung the fuck around. My little 5'2" ass being thrown every motherfucker where it's 2 6 foot whatever giants up here fighting this shit. Oh yeah, please make her that. It's two fucking big ass giants outside fighting each other. Here go my little bitty ass. I'm running and stuff, trying to get in between. Like, stop. Putting my hands out and shit. I'm catching licks. I'm being hit by big ass fists and shit. I ain't trying to lose my life to try to break up no fight. You know what? Call me when you get to CCDC, my nigga. You better hope he's still breathing when you done. Okay, call me. I call the lawyer. Okay, that's all I can do. I'm not going out there trying to stop you at all. Okay, I can't put my life on the line like that. We got kids. One of us got to be here. One of us, for real. She said, "Now, sissy, go Tigers." So yeah, we will finish this in another live. I have been on live for 3 hours. Wow, I cannot believe it, girl. I have not stopped talking in 3 hours. This is unprecedented. By now, I would have been said I was hungry. Now I'm hungry. Okay. Now, in the words of Kevin, I can AKA get me something good to eat. You know, I'm gonna text you, sis, as soon as this is over. Thank you all once again. Much love. Kisses, hugs, and smooches everywhere. Copy Bearer says, bye, everyone.